Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about certification of gemstones. And by certification, I mean the actual results of laboratory analysis from the professional gemology lab. The research in the lab may contain different stages depending on how much you would like to pay. However, the main idea always is to find the inclusions, because every single natural gemstone has got inclusions. It can be a little bit more of that, it can be a little bit less of that. The price also depends on it, but they must be there. The only one case when you get a crystal clear gemstone without any inclusions at all, like no bubbles, no clouds, no strokes, no nothing, it is a fake gemstone. That is why, by the way, if you noticed, in any Hollywood movie, when they steal some diamonds and bring them to a mysterious person, that mysterious person always looks at the stones against the light. And it is exactly inclusions he is looking for. To give a quick resolution if it's a natural gemstone or not. But that's not all. It appears that through the typical shape or type of inclusions, one can define the place of gemstone's origin. For example, the oval shape of inclusions in rubies tells us that this ruby is coming from Burma. And if you see something like a star, then most probably this ruby is from Madagascar. And Mozambique ruby will produce quite a fancy geometrical form. Inclusions which cannot be defined specifically. So you see now, the lab analysis might be very informative. There are hundreds, if not thousands, such gemology laboratories around the world. And as I had mentioned before, depending on how much money you are willing to pay, it can be a very simplistic laboratory, with certificate which will just tell you if it's a true natural gemstone or artificial one, and maybe if it's heated or not. Or it can be a very fancy certificate, telling you about the origin, assigning the color to the gemstone, laying out all the inclusions inside, what shape do they have, what type of inclusions they are, etc, etc, etc. Some super expensive laboratories in Swiss, they sometimes even make the full HD photo of each inclusion which is found in the gemstone. So you can actually look at it as if you had a microscope. But that kind of certification might cost up to several thousands of dollars, almost the same as the gemstone itself. I would say that the certificate within several hundreds of dollars would work just perfectly fine, because it still will give you all the necessary information, without overloading you unnecessary one. And I would like to highlight that many people consider the piece of paper given to them in the shop to be a certificate. Unfortunately, it's not quite true. Even if it's signed by some respectable jewelrist, or it has got several stamps, including governmental stamp, unless it's a proper laboratory certificate, it means nothing. Another common belief is that anyone, including me, can get the real certificate from the real lab and then sell it as a natural one. Well, that appears nearly impossible to fulfill, because every gemology lab, even a very cheap one, has a QR code and a link, leading you to the description of your very specific gemstone. And you will be able to see every single detail, including the size, the color description, the shape, and the weight. So there is nothing easier than just to grab a micrometer and actually measure the stone and compare if the one which you are holding in your hands is exactly the one which is described on the website.